Hey everyone, it's Sammy. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you one of the most basic and most used kicks in Taekwondo. That is a roundhouse kick. If you just started learning Taekwondo, then make sure you check out the link in the description below for my free workout. I take you through an entire Taekwondo class where we cover the basics of kicks, blocks, and just basically an introduction to Taekwondo class. If you do want to do that workout and check out the free class, make sure that you check the link in the description below. Now let's go ahead and learn how to do the roundhouse kick. Alright, so to learn the roundhouse kick, we're actually going to start down on the floor so we can learn the technique part first. Then we'll learn it standing where you have to worry about balance and other things. So let's go ahead and come down to the floor. We're going to go over on one side like this. And all you're going to do is point your knee straight across from you just like this. Make sure that your hips are turned over. So you don't want to be having your hips up towards the ceiling, but rather you want to turn them over towards the side like this. Point your knee away from you. Now you're going to pull your toes back and kick straight out like this. You want to make sure that your toes are pulled back. They're pointed just like this, so you're hitting with the top of your foot. And bring it back. Okay? That's essentially a roundhouse kick. So let's kick it out. Bring it back. Let's do 10 of those. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now if you notice, every single time that I'm doing this, I'm starting with my knee chambered in like this, I'm kicking it out, and then I'm retracting it back in just like that. That's how you're going to do it when you're standing. Once again, make sure that your hips are turned over all the way. You don't want them to be kicking upwards so that your foot is pointed up like this. Instead, you want to turn your hips over so that your kick is sideways and you're hitting to the side just like that. Now let's go ahead and try this kick standing up. Okay, the first step is going to be starting in a fighting stance. So you're going to have your left foot forward, both of your arms up. Step 1 is going to be to lift your knee straight up in front of you just like this. Bring it back down. One more time. Lift it up. Make sure when your knee is lifted up, your toes are pointed down below just like this. Bring it back down. Okay? The next step that you're going to do is going to be the pivot. So go ahead and bring your knee up. From here, you're going to turn over sideways just like this. Your foot that's on the ground is going to rotate outwards just like this. So step 1, knee is up. Step 2, pivot sideways. Now you see that your knee is pointed straight forward just like you were when you were on the ground. That's going to be step 2 of the roundhouse kick. Start over, hands up in a fighting stance. Step 1, bring your knee up. Step 2, pivot. From here, you're going to kick it out just like you did when you're on the ground. Retract it back in, and then land it back down in front of you, just like that. Okay, let's try it one more time. While you're learning, it's really helpful if you have something to hold on to. That way you don't have to worry about balance and you can just focus on the technique part of it. Okay, so if you have something just like this, go ahead and set your arm down so that you can use it for balance. So start off in a fighting stance. I'm going to do it sideways this time. Step 1, you're going to bring your knee up. Step 2, you're going to pivot sideways. Like I said, grab onto something if you have it around you. Okay, your foot that's on the ground, you're going to want it pointed all the way away from where you're kicking. Step 3, you're going to execute the kick. Step 4, you're going to retract it back. Step 5, go down, return to that fighting stance. Okay, let's try it one last time, slow motion, just like that. Ready, start in your fighting stance, left foot forward, right leg will be kicking. Step 1, bring your knee up. Step 2, pivot around. Step 3, kick it out. Step 4, retract. Step 5, land back in your fighting stance. That is your basic roundhouse kick. Now let's go ahead and work on it, getting a little bit more up to speed. Ready? Fighting stance. And roundhouse kick. Ready? Go through all the motions. Twist, kick out, back in, down. A little faster now. Ready? Fighting stance. And go. Just like that. One more. Ready? Go. Nice job. The next thing that we're going to do is learn how to do it on a kicking bag so that we can start adding in some speed and some power. If you have a paddle or a kicking bag, make sure you go over, bring that over, grab someone to hold that paddle for you, and let's work on our roundhouse kicks on a bag. Okay, so here is my kicking bag. I'm going to be working on the roundhouse kicks body level only. So one thing that you want to make sure you're doing when you're doing a roundhouse kick is you're going to be using the top of your foot right here to hit sideways on the bag. Make sure that your kick is coming straight sideways like this. You don't want to be kicking upwards at an angle. You want to make sure you're turning your hips all the way over, okay? So start in a fighting stance. Make sure you measure a good amount of distance away from the bag. And you're going to do the same exact thing. Knee comes up, twist over, kick it out, retract, land back down. Then you just reset. Okay, let's try it a little faster. Ready, go. That's one, let's do 3 more. Ready, 2. One thing to note, make sure that while you're doing your kick, your foot that's on the bottom is rotating outwards. Ready, 3. 4. Don't forget to land in a good fighting stance once you're done with your kick. And last one, 5. Just like that, and that is your basic roundhouse kick. I hope that was helpful, and now you know how to do the roundhouse kick. Make sure that you don't get frustrated. It does take a lot of practice to get it smooth, the right height, the right amount of power. That's just gonna be a lot of time that you have to go through with practicing. If you're a beginner and you wanna learn more, don't forget to check out my free workout class for beginners in Taekwondo. The link is in the description below. Otherwise, I will see you guys all on my next video. Have an awesome week training. Bye guys.